This is a fancy fandango in French, with apologies to the French for the misuse of their language. The fancy fandango is an idea I came up with when playing with an origami book. Wanted to make an origami frog, failed to make the frog, but came up with this idea instead. And it's a really useful design because you can put it on quilts, you can wear it on clothing. It formed part of a class I used to teach called Texture in Sudoku, where that was one of the 9 blocks you learnt. But its claim to fame was going to France to appear at a small French quilt show, and I'd been told I got to demonstrate for 3 days the same thing. And I landed in France and thought, I don't know any French, but I reckoned with a bit of franglais I could do a fancy fandango in French. So there they all were, gathered round to see what this British lady was going to do. So I raised 2 squares and said, pour former une fancy fandango, vous avez besoin de 2 squares. 1, 2. Pressez les deux dans half, ouvrez out, foldez et pressez comme ça. Premier étage. Restez le square sur une flat surface, comme ça. Foldez le côté ici au centre. Foldez l'autre côté aussi ici. I thought that was particularly good. Dans le centre, vous coudrez through all the layers. I seem to remember from my schoolgirl French, that was what you did. Deuxième étage, and they were leaning, watching carefully. Levez les coins et formez un bateau. And everybody was watching intently. Répétez avec the other end. Formez l'autre bateau. Well, it was way beyond my schoolgirl French to explain that this bateau was slightly upside down, but did it really matter? Après forming l'autre bateau, vous coudrez dans le centre through all the layers. And they obligingly nodded. This was going wonderfully well. I was thinking by the end of this I'll be speaking French absolutely fluently. Troisième étage. Levez le flap. Ouvrez le flap et flattez. Well, there was an objection to the flattening bit, and they said it was a flatinier. Well, that's fine, I could do a flatinier. Levez, ouvrez, a flatinier. Répétez. Levez, ouvrez, a flatinier. Répétez une fois more. Levez, ouvrez, a flatinier. And they were all watching, waiting for the next stage. So there we are. Répétez une fois more. Levez, ouvrez, a flatinier. Vous formez un autre square. 4 étages, and there they were waiting. Levez le flap et foldez dans le centre comme ça. Répétez avec l'autre et coudre across here. Répétez une fois more. Le fold avec l'autre fold. And hopefully yours will line up, but this is on a board. Et coudre. Répétez. Encore. Foldez. Et foldez again. Et finalement, levez le flap et foldez avec l'autre fold, puis coudre tout the way round. And they were waiting for the 5th stage, because they'd forgotten that you needed 2 squares. Répétez to the lot, dans or en l'autre square, comme ça. Pour former une fancy fandango, prenez l'autre square, flippez over, et foldez les 4 coins au centre. Comme ça. Puis planquez dans le middle de l'autre. Et voilà a fancy fandango. Now, the fancy fandango has an awful lot of uses, as I said in the beginning. It can be turned into a variety of different things. You could, if you wanted to, give it a tassel on the end. You could wear this anywhere you liked. You could make it into a box. Fancy fandangos as a box. You could do it in gold lame, gold lame. You could just have the centerpiece and hang it up as a decoration. If you want further ideas on how to make the box, it's all in sew pieces. So that's it. That's how you make a fancy fandango, and apologies to the French.